So hey everyone, in this video we will discuss about business fixed investment. There are three types of investment: business fixed investment, residential investment and inventory investment. Business fixed investment मतलब investment in the asset, residential investment मतलब residential property like house, inventory investment मतलब stock in trade. हाँ देखो, business fixed investment, it represents spending by firms to increase production capacity. It is the traditionally decomposed into equipment यानी computer, machinery etc., structure, land, plant, warehouses etc., intellectual property, software, R&D मतलब research and development etc., intellectual property होता है. ये आई इज इक्वल्स टू इन्वेस्टमेंट का जो चेंज इनकी चेंज इन आउटपुट के इज इक्वल्स टू क्लोजिंग स्टॉक माइनस ओपनिंग स्टॉक. There are three important theories of investment: neoclassical theory, accelerated theory and Q theory. Neoclassical theory, accelerated theory and Q theory. The neoclassical theory, developed mostly by Dale W. Georgeson, helps in determination of output and prices through optimal capital stock in the economy. Y is equals to function, y is the function, y is equals to y is the function of labor and capital. न्यू क्लासिकल थियोरी का ये मानना था. डेल डब्ल्यू जॉर्जसन, ये जॉर्जसन ने दिया है. और फिर मैंने बताया था इससे पहले हाइपोथेसिस, परमानेंट इनकम हाइपोथेसिस, रिलेटिव इनकम हाइपोथेसिस और लाइफ साइकिल हाइपोथेसिस. लाइफ साइकिल हाइपोथेसिस किसने दिया था? परमानेंट दिया था तो मिल्टन फ्रीडमैन ने. डिसनबेरी ने दिया था रिलेटिव इनकम हाइपोथेसिस. और ये और कौन सा बच गया एक, लाइफ साइकिल हाइपोथेसिस किसने दिया था? फ्रैंको मोडिलियानी ने. और न्यू क्लासिकल थियोरी डेल डब्ल्यू जॉर्जसन ने दिया था. एक्सेलरेटेड थियोरी एनालाइज द process of adjustment in the level of capital stock. The Q theory James Tobin ने दिया था. James Tobin extends the neoclassical theory to include adjustment cost. Inventory spending in the most volatile components of aggregate demand and thus a major source of fluctuations of economic activities often leads to business cycle. Inventory investment spending. Importance of investment can also be highlighted through the financial market that affects the economy. We will examine the two-way relationship between investment and financial market. Value of marginal, हाँ लेक्चर 17 के बाद हमारा इधर है. हाँ, न्यू क्लासिकल थियोरी ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट, न्यू क्लासिकल थियोरी एंड ऑप्टिमल capital stocks. The new classical model of investment assumes well functioning and efficiency coordinating market system. Del W. Georgeson ने दिया था न्यू क्लासिकल. Contributes significantly to development of new classical, maximizes profits and use cost benefit analyzed to reach the optimal level of capital stock. In our model, a typical profit maximizing firm employs labor and capital to produce its output. Y is the function of labor and capital. It exhibits diminishing marginal product of a factor of production. We assume that there is perfect competition in both goods market and input market so that a firm can sell its product at a given price. So we all know that profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. इसको बोलते हैं पी के, प्राइस ऑफ कैपिटल इंटू इन्वेस्टमेंट इंटू इसका डेरिवेशन ऑफ पी के, चेंज इन प्राइस ऑफ कैपिटल. ये चेंज इन पी के बाई के मतलब इन्फ्लेशन रेट पाई, और पी के इज 1 माइनस डेरिवेशन इन डेप्रिशिएशन माइनस पाई. मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट, ये फॉर्मूला याद कर लो क्योंकि ये ना एग्जाम में पूछता है ऐसे कि मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट कब होगा? price into function of labor and capital minus WL wages labor minus PK price of capital into R plus depreciation into capital. First order depreciation P into the marginal cost. ये कर लो. वैल्यू ऑफ मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट ऑफ पी के इतना, एम पी के मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट ऑफ कैपिटल हमारा इतना है, प्राइस ऑफ कैपिटल आर प्लस डेप्रिसिएशन आर सी, रियल रेंटल कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल। उसके बाद है आगे यहाँ वैल्यू ऑफ मार्जिनल प्रोडक्ट ऑफ कैपिटल। ये business fixed investment depends on the marginal product of capital and real rate of interest and depreciation rate. Business fixed investment depends on marginal product of capital, real rate of interest and depreciation rate. The decrease in the real interest rate lowers the cost of capital. It raises the profit from owning capital and increases the incentive to accumulate more, means increase investment, and vice versa. The equation shows the inverse relationship between the rate of interest and investment. Rate of interest and investment डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग है तो वही हुआ ना, इसमें बताएगा एडजस्टमेंट स्पीड ऑफ कैपिटल स्टॉक। इफ द एक्चुअल कैपिटल स्टॉक at any point of time differs from optimum capital stock, then at what speed the firm would go about adjusting its capital stock towards the optimal level. The flexible accelerated model, also called gradual accelerator model, helps in the finding out the adjustment speed. Let us assume that k मतलब previous year का मतलब t-1, the actual output of the stock is the period t-1 is the optimal capital stocks। अब ये तुम याद कर लो सिमिलरली। स्टॉक मार्केट एंड टॉबिन की थ्योरी किसने दिया था क्यू थ्योरी? टॉबिन ने। क्यू इज इक्वल्स टू मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ इंस्टॉल्ड कैपिटल बाय replacement cost of capital, market value of installed capital by replacement cost of capital, value of a stock market placed in firm asset by actual current worth of firm's asset. If Q is more than 1, then there is an incentive to undertake net investment. Q is less than 1, firm should start selling their capital because they would get more of it on the second hand market than the value shareholders placed on it. Investment fixed inventory, residential investment. The global financial meltdown of 2007 to 9, which originated in the US, was triggered by the large decline in the home prices after the collapse of housing bubble. Decline in residential investment processed the recession and were followed by reduction in the household spending and then business investment. The housing market comprises of two segments, with the stock of existing houses, just like a stock of capital, which determines the price of houses, and the flow of new construction, like flow of investment, which determines the level of new investment. Home buyer view themselves as investors, and their self-occupying house as one among many assets that wealth holders can own it their investment portfolio. Is depreciation rate of housing capital. M is maintenance of cost of housing capital as per value, and pi e is equals to inventor's expected rate of nominal houses price appreciation. So ये कुछ है, क्योंकि ये समझ नहीं आया जब तक तुम बेसिक नहीं तुम्हारा क्लियर होगा। Net worth of construction. Declining in the following factors would shift the demand curve upward so that there is increase in demand, price remaining constant. Mortgage interest rate, property tax rate, depreciation rate, maintenance of cost, return on other assets. Increase in the following factors will shift the demand curve for houses upward: population size, wealth, income, expected capital gains of houses. देखो demand supply is FS, supply of new housing. Next is inventory investment. It is a teeny component of GDP, but due to its remarkable volatility, it makes up about 70% of the business cycle fluctuations. Understanding the behaviors of inventory accumulation is meaningful to predict macroeconomic fluctuations and counter it. I is equals to change in K capital. There are two broad categories of inventories, as manufacturer inventories and retail investors. Under the manufacturer inventories, we have further divisions like finished goods, work in progress, raw material and supplies, etc. Wholesale inventories. Motive of holding inventories: production smoothing, production scheduling, reducing delivery lags, inventories as a factor of production, stock out avoidance, work in progress. There are three models there are through which inventory investment are described as the growth of demand impact, cost impact, and finance impact.